Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Whiskey with Ivy. So our minister has confirmed that there was no cover-up on the HIV data leak, and I believe him, and I believe he made a bad decision, but sometimes in life, somebody has to make a decision, whether good or bad. At that time, it was a good decision because this involves a lot of people's private lives. So now we should stop harping about how it happened and look at how to help the people and protect the people who are involved. We must listen to Roy Chan, who is the president of the AIDS Society, I believe, and he said that people should learn to understand this disease and not look at it as a decadent disease, but people can contract it in many ways as long as there's body fluids involved. So I think there should be more education given so that people know what to do and what not to do. We must look at our employment policies. We have a thriving Geylang, right? Do we ever check how many of them contract HIV when they are being serviced by the service providers, right? And why do we allow people who have deviant sex lives, deviant lifestyles to come into our country with their partners who probably have AIDS, right? Like this story, and allow them to continue working in our country? Let's cut out the crap. Don't torture people with AIDS. Let's try to help them because your son, your daughter, your father, your wife may be a victim. Let's find out how to help these people. It is just a contamination like measles or tuberculosis or dengue hemorrhagic fever. It is a disease. Let's find out how to help people who contract it. Hyflux. Remember, when elephants make love, the grass suffers. Businesses can fail, but my only question to this whole debacle is how did the government allow a stock which can be bought with your CPF not be controlled by a government watchdog in Hyflux? And not only that, I believe Temasek had a lot of stake in this company. And you know Temasek is in charge of most of our lives, right? And our country's business. That is the worry we should look at, not just Hyflux. Han Fu Kwang is one of the writers whom I respect a lot. This piece, Looking Up to Leaders to Tell the Hard Truth, is really very, very good at this point in time. Especially this paragraph where he said, now that Singaporeans are constantly reminded how the country is the world's best in this and that area and how well it is doing compared with others. This is fine if it truly is so and there is nothing left to improve. But of course it isn't, and the worst thing that can happen is if Singaporeans and their leaders believe their own propaganda. Then you look at this sheet of paper, Singapore's Middle Way, Growing Economy, Caring for Its People by Miss Indrani Raja, right? She's a beautiful half Indian, half Chinese like me, okay? Look at this sentence. We maintain a system that is fair and progressive. Half of our working population does not have to pay tax. Of those who do, the ones who earn more pay more. Let me tell you something, Miss Indrani Raja, they do pay tax. They pay 7% GST. And the 7% that they have to pay means a lot to them. But to the rich man, 7% is nothing. Alright? Now, 50% do not pay income tax because they don't earn enough to pay income tax. You shouldn't be proud that your countrymen do not pay income tax. The rich at the top make plenty of money. They pay very little taxes. That's why the evil rich come here. They are abusers and users. They come to our country because of the cheap tax rate, because our government gives them a lot of money for the investments that they bring in. You must learn to make your rich love your own country, and you must seriously make sure your poor can pay income tax to support the country. Rail reliability rising, but so are operating costs. Mr. Minister Khaw Boon Wan is going to tell you your transport costs will increase. Remember, they give you by the right hand and take by the left hand. Poor soldier, SAF regular found dead, but don't start suspecting and talking and hyping about it, okay? Let's wait and see what actually happened. It's sad, but people do die. Singapore hits by dating app, don't look for sex on the web, or the web spider will get you. Amazing story about this wonderful postman. 2 slices of bread and a toilet break between 12 hours of work. I'm surprised his kidneys are still functioning nicely. It's pathetic that after how many years of work, he's only earning like $1,800. But Mr. Postman, Mr. Rajab, I salute you. Please bring your family and your loved ones to Bollywood Veggies, and sayang, I'll give you a beautiful Bollywood lunch. Cheers, coffee. As this show comes to an end today and my production crew will be busy working, another big show is happening. It's called 2019 Budget. I can only pray and hope that our Minister of Finance will make a good and honest budget and not give us buldas and only help the rich to get richer and the poor to have more babies. Thank you for watching another episode of Coffee and Whiskey with Ivy. Remember to subscribe. And now I have better news for you. Starting this month, at the end of every month, we are going to have a discussion panel made up of different groups of people. Like, we are going to start with the millennials. Then we'll have the Merdeka generation. Then we'll have the Pioneer generation. I will even invite drunkards to come here and drug addicts to come here and mad people to come here. Anybody welcome. Get a group of your soulmates. Come and talk to me. Have a coffee. Maybe even a whiskey.